Hey everyone, this is Tim from Your Sex Tech. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the thumbsticks and change them out on your PlayStation 5 controller. Now you can go on to Amazon or eBay and you can buy additional thumbsticks. Otherwise you can take a thumbstick from your PlayStation 4 or maybe your Xbox controller and you can place them into the PS5 controller. So this one's from my Xbox controller. Now the first thing we want to do is remove this face cover right here. Now you might be able to get in with your fingernail and then just lift this up, and then you can remove this, and this should just pop off. And you can do it from the other side as well. So if you're going to be lifting this off and your fingernail doesn't work well enough, I'd get like a guitar pick or maybe like a plastic piece with an edge on there, and then just pry it open. Now you want to avoid using metal, because like a metal flathead or something could damage your controller, and that could be a bad thing. So once we have that removed, we want to go ahead and remove the L1 and the R1 buttons. So once again, I'm going to be using that plastic piece, but we just have to go under the button and then lift up, and this will pop off. Then we do the same thing on the other side, and this will not take a lot of force to pop off. And now we have 4 different screws we want to unscrew. So just locate a small screwdriver. So you have one here, here, and then you have some on the bottom, here and here. So let's remove all 4 of these now. Alright, so this is my last screw right here. Now before we remove the back cover, we want to unlatch this area right here. So you can see 2 little latches. We want to lift up on these, otherwise the back cover will not separate. So you might accidentally turn on your controller too, so you can see mine is powered on. But now we should be able to just peel this off. So let's do that now, and make sure these are unlatched. So let's do that, and it looks good. Now this should just come off. So you can take it off like this, and you can see this side is still latched. So let's lift up on here. Boom. Now there should be some separation, and avoid opening it like this because the battery will fall out on you. So if you get it to this point, flip it upside down, and then remove the cover like this, and the battery will stay in place. So this is going to take a little bit more effort to get to the actual thumbsticks. As you can see, we have to remove the front cover. Now to do this, we want to replace the battery. So let's remove the battery from here. So be careful pulling by the wires, but this should just come out gently. If you can grab by the plastic, do that, but my fingers are a little bit too big for that. Then we have 1 screw right here that we want to go ahead and then unscrew. So let me do that right now, and then we'll get rid of this black piece. Alright, so I got a different screwdriver here. And then we have 4 different ribbon cables we want to go ahead and unplug. So we got that one. If you have a magnetic screwdriver, that will come in handy. Now we want to disconnect this ribbon cable and look at this, how it's assembled. This little piece is really annoying to get back in if it slides out, but I'll just slide in on the side right here. So let's disconnect this and lift up. And then we can remove this black piece where the battery sits on. Then we have this cable down here, the cable to the side, and then the cable on the top, that's blue. Let's get to this, and then this cable on the side here as well. So 4 cables total. Then on your version of the controller, there might be little latches on the side here that you just have to press in, and it looks like mine does not. So I'm just going to push with the thumbsticks on the bottom here, and this should get fed through now. And we can flip and rotate this around, and here are the thumbsticks. Now this piece right here may fall out on you, so it just goes into this like little housing area right here. So it usually goes right here. So if that falls out, just a heads up, just place it back in there, and there won't be a problem. So now you can take your thumbsticks you got from Amazon, and we can just lift up. These should just come off, just like that. Now we can try placing on my Xbox One to see if this works actually. So let's place this on here. Looks a little bit smaller, but it works. So you can just place it on there. It's like basically the same actuators. So here's my Xbox controller. You can see it's pretty much the same thing. It's just rotated upside down compared to the PlayStation 5 controller. So place on your new thumbsticks, and then you can reassemble the controller, and you should be good to go. So we can just flip this around now once we got everything in, just like this. And then make sure all these cables are on the top of this board, otherwise they're going to be stuck underneath. So let's get these screws to the side here, and you don't want to lose those screws in the carpet, so just keep them in a safe spot. So let's get everything above here so it's easier to connect. And then you got this little guy on the bottom here, which is going to be just dangling there. We can get that together last. Now let's push this down. And then we can reconnect these. So it might be a little bit easier to reconnect them now before we put on that black piece for the battery. So let's reconnect this on the top. And then we should be good to go. And this might take a little bit of dexterity. And you have to push down. Make sure these are seated well. Otherwise you might lose some sort of function on your controller. And it might be difficult to see. Now this little guy down here is going to be a little bit annoying. So let's go ahead and use my screwdriver and get this from under here. And then place it on top. Alright, so I'm grabbing it with my fingers, and then I can push the board down. Alright, good. Then I'm just going to reconnect this. So I have all those attached. Now we have to reseat this back here, and there will be a little groove that we can slide this into. And if this black piece comes off, you just have to press it down and place it back on kind of like that. And then we can slide it back into this area. Boom. Good enough. Alright, that works. Then we can flip our controller around. Let's place on this black piece for the battery. Then let's place that screw in so it doesn't move around on us anymore. And the small little ribbon cable on the bottom is going to be a little bit annoying to get in if it comes off on you. So you can just take a look at it how I have it. But you just have to reseat it back in there. So let's screw this down pretty good, so my controller doesn't wobble around on me when I'm using it. You might hear some stuff rattling if you don't screw it down well enough. Alright, so this piece right here, you'll just have to slide it into the side if that comes undone. And then let's reconnect it. If you have glasses on, it might help see a little bit easier, like I do. Alright, boom, first try. Got it in. Press down, and now we can place our battery in. So the battery will go up like this. Disconnect it, and the battery only goes in one way, I believe. Boom. So battery's in, the controller's already turning on. So now we can place on the cover. From here it should be relatively easy now. So here's my PS5 controller cover. Start from the top, go to the bottom. Now make sure these are latching on the bottom here. Oop, this accidentally came up on me, so let's reseat this in. I think that's for the microphone right there. So if you mess that up, you won't be speaking to people in game. Alright, let's crunch this back down. Alright, so that's snapped into place. Now I have these 4 screws I have to place in. So I'm going to leave those unscrewed right now just because I'll be taking apart my controller again. But we want to place in our R1 and our L1 button now. So I can see this one is R1, so this goes on this side. You can look at R2, see where that is. And you just have to align it. And then press down. And this should just go into place here. So like that, boom, snapped in. Do the same thing on the other side here. Then align it and then snap it in. Boom. Then you can place the face cover back on. Snap this into place. Boom, good. So I just replaced my thumbstick now. Hopefully this video did indeed help you out. If it did, leave it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below for more tech videos coming up next on Your 6 Tech.